Greetings and salutations, finally again, Internet. We are back with yet another instance of Nerd Informer. It's been way too long, but we're back, and we do apologize for that wait. It's been
months.
Too many months. We've been streaming as we can, but it's been a while since we've been to this segment. We're getting everything finally in order. Would you like to elaborate on there, good sir?
Yes, we're going to start hopefully getting this done more here. You can see that we have a change in place. Definitely looks a little bit brighter in here. That's because we're not up in Cody's house. We're now at my apartment. Part of the reason why also we were just strictly live streaming. That's a little easier to do. But now we have a setup here. We should hopefully start doing some more with the Nerd Informer.
And I believe even more from that as well, right?
What?
Even more than that, not more than just Nerd Informer.
Yeah, we're hoping to start maybe doing some short films. Start doing a little bit more entirely on the channel. More live streams, definitely. Those are relatively easy to pump out.
Maybe even some board games?
Some board games and maybe some magic and stuff. Just overall, just a lot of stuff to expect in the future with this channel. But the biggest thing that has been going on recently was E3 that was going on.
Wait. Before you get into that, we do need to give them a fair introduction. We do it every time. We got to give them a fair introduction yet again. We always introduce ourselves, remember?
Oh. I'm Damon.
I'm Frank.
And I'm XX_God_420XX. And we are back.
Commonly known as Cody.
Unfortunately.
But as you guys all may know, E3 had gone on recently. Whoever is watching at this very moment, E3 would have at that point passed a little bit. There was definitely a lot of new hype to come out. There was a lot of good, a little bit of bad. I would like to say that this is probably one of the best E3 that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
I would say. A lot of surprises, a lot of new releases, a couple things that didn't get announced, but we can go ahead and divulge into that a little bit more here. If Cody wants to kick it off, there was a bit announced with the new Mass Effect game, which we've talked about here.
Yep.
On the channel before.
New Mass Effect Andromeda trailer dropped. We get even more context. We know more now than it's just in space. We got a name for the character, Ryder, based on the first female in space, as opposed to Shepard being the first male. And pretty much it. We got a lot of next-gen graphics on a lot of new characters.
Be exciting.
Very exciting. New worlds, new characters. It's something to look forward to.
Definitely not a forgotten about game series, which is good.
Yeah, it's look forward to it early 2017.
Yes, and then we've also in the past reported on.
There's a new game from Kojima Productions. It's called Death Stranding. It's the first game that Hideo Kojima is making since he left Konami, so that'll be exciting. Haven't seen too much on that other than a trailer, pretty much. But
yeah, it'll probably remain as a trailer until the game comes out. It definitely looks very exciting. Who is it they have as that main character?
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Yes. And it looks like a very interesting game. Definitely kind of odd trailer, but he's definitely known though for his really, really nice trailers. The music was nice for it. The overall graphics look cool. Very curious to see what the story is.
And real quick, for those that didn't know, Norman Reedus is the guy that plays Daryl from Walking Dead.
Sponsor.
He's gonna die. Good luck.
thanks.
But I guess overall, what games were you guys the most excited to see at E3?
Injustice 2 by far.
Yeah, Injustice 2 looks cool. The new God of War kind of looks cool also. It's still kind of too early to really say anything about it. They've really changed the gameplay a lot.
Did you watch the stream for God of when they were announcing God of War? They opened it up. It was silent, and there's this huge orchestra just playing, and so it was kind of generating this confusion as to what game it was for. I mean, it could have been for a remastered Skyrim could have just been kind of like a reiteration of it's coming out on Sony consoles. But nope, it starts off with this kid, he's talking, and then someone emerges from the shadows and it's Kratos. I would say biggest surprise out of all the games that were announced was that one. Because, I mean, for a while, the next God of War game has been being talked about, but I definitely don't think it was expected at E3.
Let's be honest, that wasn't the biggest surprise, it was the best surprise.
That's true.
I was more so just kind of surprised that they ended up bringing Kratos back. I thought with the new setting, it would be a good opportunity to put a new character in.
I think the way that they're gonna go with it is that as Kratos, because he's immortal, he's essentially, how I'm gonna view it is that he's gonna just go throughout history and, well, kill every god as people will start to take on new ones. New ones would then emerge, and then he will then conquer them, as what he did in Ascension, what he did in all of the God of War games.
You know he's probably the guy that put Jesus on the cross.
Now,
I don't think the camera heard that.
one other game that was, it was announced that they're remastering the first three of was Crash Bandicoot.
Mhm.
First three games are going to be getting remastered, which was a little disappointing actually. They had this all built up, and all you heard was the music, and then you saw him walk out with the Crash Bandicoot shadow around him, and he said, this was pretty much the whole thing that he said, yeah, we're remastering the first three games, and here's Skylanders.
Yeah, they're putting him into the new Skylanders.
But
That's
it
kind of
was
the
just
deal.
that they kind of really underplayed Crash Bandicoot and how that was kind of a key game back in the beginnings of PlayStation.
I mean, he's not even getting love on in any of the PlayStation stuff anymore. I mean,
Considering that Crash was the first big title from Naughty Dog.
And that is very true, and it's still cool to see that they're being remastered, but it's very, to me, underplayed. I don't know, when it comes to where Skylanders is to Sony being announced more as a bigger thing than remastering the first three games of a great game series, it's just a little underwhelming to me. That was the only thing I was really disappointed with the Sony conference. I mean, all the other games that they announced were really cool.
Yeah.
They announced the VR, the PlayStation VR, so that'll be really cool because, I mean, it's starting out with a base 50 games, but now I imagine you're going to start seeing a whole lot more VR games coming out here in the future. And games are going to start adding on, I imagine, because even at Battlefront, it's going to have that DLC that includes that VR mission. So more games are probably going to do something along the lines of that. You got to see a Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
we're all paying attention just to the remaster though.
The remaster of Modern Warfare, which was pretty nice. It's a little sad that in order to get it, you have to get the Infinite Warfare package with it.
I honestly feel like that's how they're going to end up selling Infinite Warfare, is they're going to say, oh, we have this package and you'll get Modern Warfare Remastered, but you also have to get Infinite Warfare to get it. So.
Let's be honest. They had the remaster just sitting on the side for a while. They were just waiting for one of their games to bomb.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. They were, to me, just waiting. They were waiting for the right time. This is the best time. Modern Warfare was most people love that game. That's a close second always to everyone. Everyone always loves World at War, but Modern Warfare probably is very, very close second.
I thought everybody always loved Raymond.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, everyone always does love Raymond.
Everyone loves Raymond, and it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Now,
But it's hot in Cleveland.
and they also announced a couple other cool titles like Horizon.
Horizon, yeah, Zero Dawn, that looks really cool.
Now, I think it would be neat if they tied it into Killzone. In a way they could. I mean, it's kind of set in this weird futury, it's kind of futury, it has all
Futuristic primitive.
Yeah, but, I
It's-
mean, you could essentially, because Killzone was all kind of about war, so essentially could have got to the point where it just became some huge nuclear holocaust. And
Yeah.
then civilization then at that point started back, but then people made these machines, or the machine animals, or the machines adapted to make themselves.
Robo-dinosaurs.
There's really any direction you could go that I think it'd be neat if they tied it into Killzone, but it probably won't happen.
The way-
All we need to say is robo-dinosaurs.
The way they describe it, like, in the trailer that they showed at the conference, was that they have, like, these people called, like, the old ones who built these machines and stuff, so that it's almost like they're going into, like, these, pseudo mythical beings or whatever that built these machines, and now they're dead and they're just kind of roaming around. So
Yeah. Now, Horizon was announced.
Recore was also announced, but it's basically Horizon. I
mean,
mean, it's its own indie thing, which looks kind of cool, but it's basically Horizon.
I mean, it'll still be neat though to have both those games. We'll see.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be competitors. I mean, you had the same thing with Overwatch and Battleborn.
And we all know the winner there, Paragon.
honestly,
Yeah.
people should just.
Paragon.
I think people should just stop comparing those two games because they're really not that many similarities.
No, they're very different. The only thing that I don't know. It all depends on what kind of mindset you're in when you're going to play a game. I like both games equally. They're both very different play styles. I like Overwatch just because it kind of has a TF2 feel, which is pretty nice. I really like TF2 as a game. But Overwatch is great. But although there was nothing about those at E3, so
Not yet.
not yet.
If you're watching this in the future and something happened, you can prove us wrong.
Post it in the comments.
But
you have to make sure it's 2 days or 3, 4, whenever this goes up.
Yes. And then Prey was also announced.
that franchise
Which
is
was-
not dead.
No, it is not. That game looks really cool. Essentially, what it looked like is a guy keeps waking up every morning, but things keep happening that he can't explain, and then he wakes up on a spaceship, and he's fighting aliens.
I was somewhat expecting you to go into an Inception kind of thing where he just keeps waking up and he's in a dream.
Yeah,
instead of
in a way he did. It just kept showing. That's how it started to say, "Good morning, Ritas."
The way
Norman Reedus?
the way that you were describing it made it seem like it was going off into like a similar plot as Edge of Tomorrow, where he like keeps waking up in the same day or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it was, but I don't know if they're gonna go quite that route. I don't know. It looks interesting. It'll be neat to maybe see some gameplay of that here, and then.
Alright, well, let's go back and retouch on some of the ones that we kind of grazed over. Injustice 2, they already showed 6 of the characters have been confirmed. There's a whole new gear system, which is going to be pretty strange and competitive, but it's going to be unique in the same sense. It's going to be pretty fun. We touched on Skyrim remastered for a second.
Yeah, we
Special
did touch
edition.
on it for a second.
Split second, but yeah.
In regards to that, all that they've pretty much shown is that all the graphics are getting upped quite a bit. I mean, it's going to all be a very, very nice game. They added a bunch of different textures to it and a bunch of different shades.
Console modding.
Console modding is going to be another thing. If you ever played it on Steam, where it has that community marketplace where you can get mods, they're going to have a similar thing on consoles where you can get other mods, so people can actually generate their own mods.
It'll
and
be
upload
similar
them.
to Fallout 4 system that they implemented a while back. I'm just hoping that that whole situation resolves itself soon with the whole.
And that's getting console mods as well.
Fallout.
Yeah, there's been a lot of abuse on that though, so it's pretty much a lot of stealing mods to republish them as your own, and they're.
Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah.
going to be some.
There's going to be some kinks in the beginning. As long as we can get it worked out, it should be a pretty nice experience.
It should be. But Skyrim looked really nice. The key thing that I really remember the most was, well, they were going over like scenery and the water looked like pretty realistic. When they were going over it, it looked really nice.
Biggest thing that keeps hitting me in my mind is I'm wondering if they're actually going to include the DLC or add it as actual DLC.
I'm thinking they're gonna it's gonna come with the
Hopefully they're
DLC.
going to include it.
I know on Steam, they were going to, if you had the DLC, all the DLC in the game, they were going to give you the remastered version for free. So I imagine the remastered version is going to contain all of them.
Here's open.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty nice for anyone, hopefully. And now I imagine with it coming out on the newer consoles, I imagine that is what they're going to do. The remastered version is going to more than likely include all of those. I imagine it's not just going to be a base
Yeah,
remastered Skyrim. Well, maybe it could be,
It
but
could be, but it'd be a huge middle finger.
in a way,
I don't think
yeah.
people would be very happy if it.
I mean, the base game was already good in itself, and I know people will play it a lot, but just for anyone that bought the DLC on like PlayStation 3, or on Xbox 360. It's gonna be really kind of, I don't know, to me, to just have to go and buy those all over again. So hopefully it would be included. If not, I mean, it's not gonna be too terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be for more so for people who kind of missed out on it, like back when it was first out for last gen.
And hopefully that means that they'll also be maybe looking into some more DLC, some more to add on to the story. Although they were releasing a new Skyrim card game.
Elder Scrolls card game, Elder Scrolls Legacy.
Or Elder Scrolls card game, yeah.
Basically, it's gonna be their easiest way to convey the lore by making it into a card game.
Which honestly is not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it'll save people time from going and reading all the books.
Speaking of card games, they pulled Gwent from Witcher 3, turned it into its own card game. And that's gonna be pretty fun. I never got around to playing it myself, but
I played it a couple times, and I could see how it could spin off into like its own thing.
yeah, I'm looking forward to actually start playing it once I actually get around to getting Witcher 3. It's about time. So, speaking of RPGs now, we might as well go into the follow-up to Stick of Truth.
Oh, the fractured butthole.
Yes. It may be fractured, but it's still whole.
Yeah, the fractured butthole.
It's... Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's just essentially, in a way, a sequel. Not really actually, it's not really a sequel because it's not really following that same story at all.
Instead of going off the Warcraft theme, they're going off the superhero theme.
They're spoofing the.
From the Super Friends, the Coonan Friends, sorry, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So they're making a story based off of all of that. It's pretty much going to be Civil War.
They're spoofing like the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. Is what I got out of it.
Well, just a comic book universe,
Yeah,
cinematic universe
They
as a whole.
hit DC a little bit in there, hit Marvel.
They did. The trailer was definitely very funny. If you guys never played Stick of Truth,
There's
it
a lot of
essentially
South Park in
brings
that.
that same, the same. I don't know. It's like
Personally, it's like watching South Park, but they hit it a bit more. You know what I mean?
It's like watching South Park, but it's like you're controlling the episodes. It's the way they have it. I don't know how to really explain it. It's like they kept everything the exact same, but you're just controlling the characters essentially.
Yeah.
It's just like watching another episode of South Park. It still has that same humor. They definitely aren't afraid to keep that same humor in their games. And it looks like it's going to be really fun.
Purchase of the game, which comes out on December 6th, does include a copy of Stick of Truth.
That is true. So if you haven't played Stick of Truth, I wouldn't recommend getting it now. I would just wait until they both. Well, I don't know, because then maybe they should try it at least.
At least rent
Yeah,
it.
rent it and see if you like it. If you for anybody that actually owns the game, go sell it now.
I think there may be a demo for it that they could get.
Yeah, there's probably a demo. I'd recommend doing that, to be
Look to
honest.
see if there is a demo, play it, just see if you like it before you make a jump on both games, because that's what you're gonna get. But it's still really fun RPG. It's definitely different.
Best HD graphics I've ever seen.
Yep. Let me see. There was
State of
there
Decay
was
2.
what was it? The Nintendo Treehouse.
I didn't get to see much of the Nintendo.
Okay, well, Nintendo announced essentially their two bigger titles, a Pokemon game and a Zelda game. They definitely did have a lot more of their independent games, which is really where Nintendo has shined, especially with this new creator, or not new creator, but new head of the company. I'd expect a lot more, maybe some different things from Nintendo as a whole. I mean,
Get ready for God of War to get ported.
if you think about it, they really weren't doing so well when they came out with the Wii U.
Yeah.
So,
It was actually, unfortunately, known as probably their biggest flop since the Virtual Boy.
yeah, and it's definitely, Nintendo's been outpaced by a lot of the consoles.
I do gotta be honest though, the games, I did get to see a little bit of The Legend of Zelda, and they're putting their console through its paces right now.
Oh, they are. It's a beautiful game. It's like the Skyrim for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's Skyrim Special Edition for
It
Legend of
looks
Zelda
like a
Skyrim.
great game, and The new Pokemon Sun and Moon, if you guys are Pokemon fans, that definitely looks interesting. I don't know really too much. I stopped playing Pokemon a while ago.
There's 7 generations.
So is this gonna be like all new Pokemon?
All new Pokemon, whole new generation. There's been, at this moment in time, 9 confirmed, like 9 actually released to the public.
Okay.
I don't know all their names because I haven't
Then that'll
dug
be
into that much.
pretty exciting. I know Pokemon has really evolved graphically and gameplay wise throughout the years, which is really nice to see.
Actually, I did get to see one of the functions that they are putting into the new Pokemon. It's going to be a 4-player battle royale. 4 people go in, 1 comes out. It's like Fight Club, but
That'll be pretty neat. And then so it'll be kind of like just a battle royale and
yep, person with the most KOs and fewest deaths wins.
Okay, so someone with the best KD essentially.
Yes. So yeah, your Call of Duty fans, your KD is going to actually matter.
Make sure you're 360 no scoping.
I'm more or less 360 not caring.
Now the new Call of Duty game did look pretty neat though. The
I mean,
Infinite Warfare. It was definitely what I'd expect from a Call of Duty game.
It has something that Star Wars Battlefront doesn't have. Space battles.
Yeah, I was about to say space battles.
I'm pretty sure though that Space Battle was all on rails.
It's probably all gonna be like campaign stuff.
It pretty much
which is
just has
sad.
to be Rails and it's all campaign, but still, it's more than what we got in
They're definitely
Battlefront.
pretty neat, and they always add like new mechanics to change the pace of the gameplay, whether it's a multiplayer or the story, which is kind of neat. That's evolving. And it has to evolve too, especially when you have like Battlefield 1 coming out, where Call of Duty's going towards the future, Battlefield's going to the past.
Which honestly, I feel like is a better move on DICE's part to kind of take it back.
It definitely is. A lot of people are gonna like that kind of the more retro-y things, because we've really been seeing a lot of kind of that futuristic weaponry in both games recently. So
Honestly, in the direction that Call of Duty is going, I can't wait for the Halo release, Halo Modern Warfare.
but then that does spark the